Good morning, my darlings.
Good morning.
Thanks for tuning in to the Kelissa in the Morning Show. We have an awesome show lined up for you today, so stay tuned. And don't forget, we are the hottest show on the network, and this is how we do it. Don't touch that dial.
This is how we do it.
Welcome to the Kelissa in the Morning Show. I'm Jay Parker sitting in with Miss Kelissa Bask. So welcome to the Kelissa in the Morning Show.
Welcome, and good morning, Jay. How are you this morning?
I'm good. I'm hot though.
Hot?
It's
Really?
hot.
I thought it
It's
was
hot
kinda
Atlanta.
cool.
I'm hot, man.
Hot Atlanta.
Yeah. Yeah. We are so honored that you decided to make us a part of your morning.
Yes, we are.
Stay tuned, because on behalf of the WAEC 11860 family, we again say welcome.
Welcome.
Kelissa in the Morning.
Good morning, my darlings.
Got an awesome show lined up for you today, so make sure that you stay tuned. We're going to pop it off by giving the contact information of the station.
Yes,
so
we are.
If you want to engage in the conversation this morning, you can always reach us at 404-355-8699 or nationally 866-923-2860.
That's
So
right.
Get involved.
Get
It's gonna
involved.
Be a great show.
Yes, it is.
What you have in tune for the listener audience
actually, we have
today?
this awesome person I met, and she's a speaker, a minister, a radio show host, and she's doing some really wonderful things. And I even heard, actually, she caught my attention because I was reading one of her posts in the Speakers Lab on Facebook.
Okay.
And she's actually going out of the country to do a speaking engagement. And I thought, ooh,
Uh-oh.
okay, that's pretty awesome.
That
she was really
is.
excited about it. So I posted and then I contacted her. So it was pretty nice. But I went over and read her website, and she is doing some phenomenal things.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's what's up. So we want to give special honor to your sponsors too.
Yes, we do.
So I Am Life T-shirts by TNT Creations, where the feeling of life begins. And then Greater Works Missions, headed by Candace Ruffin.
Yes,
So hey y'all, hope y'all are listening.
that's right. Way out there in Texas doing y'all stuff.
Tejas,
Ha.
where it's really hot.
Right.
If it ain't
Hotter than
flooding, it's
here.
hot.
I know, right.
What's
Every
going
time
on in
it's
Texas?
Like flooding again, and then it's hot again.
Yeah, then they're shooting folks, and then it floods again. Then
Oh,
it gets
my
hot again. I was like,
goodness.
okay, so can you leave the police officers alone, please?
But commending the Dallas Police Department, there was some policies put in place under Obama's administration, and they're the only police department. It was concerning police, how they're policing the neighborhoods
Oh,
and
really?
what have you. Yeah, police brutality and assaults and things of that nature. They're the only department in the entire country that actually followed through.
Really?
Yes,
Wow.
the only one in Dallas.
And I heard they're really community connected too.
Yes, I did too.
So
I
when
did
that
too.
whole thing popped off, there was shock and awe.
Well, yeah, because they were, especially if they're doing what he had implemented, and
Right.
then that happens there,
Right.
out of all places,
Right.
You know, it's
Yeah.
kind of shocking because probably I'm pretty sure that their guard was not up
Right, yeah.
at all,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
yeah, just to commend the police officers there.
Yeah,
you
keep
know.
them in prayer and
Yes,
for their loss, and we commend you for the work that you're doing out there in
Mm-hmm.
Dallas.
that's right.
Wow.
Go Dallas.
Go Dallas, PD. All right. So we have, well, first, your book.
Yes. Head over to my website. It's www.kelissabASS.com.
Right.
Yes, and you can get a copy of either one of my books. One is an autobiography called Behind Closed Doors.
Awesome book. Oh,
Yes, it is.
gripping.
And the other one is a workbook that actually helps us get through, mining through some of the challenges we face in life so that we can overcome and live our dreams and things that we desire to do in life. And that's called Mining for Success. So make sure you go over there and get those books, and hey, leave a review. I love to read reviews. I actually have a 5-star review so far.
You do? All right.
Yeah.
I probably was one of the, well, anyway.
No. I haven't gone and read them in a couple months. So you're right. You might be right.
So I still have time.
You might be on there. Be able to fool me when I go read them. Like, oh, okay, he did.
So we have a power-packed show scheduled for you this morning.
Mm-hmm.
Today we'll be talking about trusting God for a miracle
Yes.
with Sherilyn Michelle Bennett.
Yes.
You're not going to miss a single second of the show, so keep your ears and your eyes peeled because there's going to be a lot of information given out, going to be information that you can use, going forward in your life.
Yes, because in this day and time, we're trusting for miracles of peace and blessing, success, all kind of things.
Yeah.
And from reading her post, she actually has some answers I think that people could really use.
Well, we need the peace.
Yes, we do. Yes.
It says that he left us his peace, not the peace that we understand or lean on or is generated by ourselves.
Right,
So
but
need
we
to
don't
enjoy
connect
that
them
peace,
to
right.
his peace,
Yeah.
then we can't have that peace.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I need his peace because my peace just don't work sometimes. I'm just saying.
Exactly.
It ain't working, y'all.
Like, wait a minute, what's going on? So let's get Sherilyn Bennett on the phone so that she can give us some of her wonderful information and tips on how we can stay the course.
Miss Bennett, are you there?
Yes, I am. Good morning. You guys are having too much fun this morning.
Yes, we are.
Welcome to the Kelissa in the Morning Show.
Yes, welcome. I'm so excited that you decided to join us this morning. How's it going where you are?
Well, it's hot at 7 a.m. in Florida, and so we need the Lord. Like,
For some cool air, some of that breezy wind, huh?
Yes, I don't understand. It's so disrespectful. It's hot.
It's disrespectful.
It really is. Yes.
Said the heat is disrespectful. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Like I'm gonna need you to put a handle on some air, right?
Well, one thing, it makes you certainly want to live right. This heat is too much.
Oh
know,
yes,
that's right.
yes. I was telling someone I was riding with yesterday. I said, well, I'm not sure if there really, really is a hell, but I don't want to go and find out. Not with this heat here. I'm good.
If you can't stand it here, you sure ain't
you
going to be
can
able to stand
forget
it there.
Right. So true. So true.
So let us go ahead and read her bio to our listening audience, and then we're gonna get into asking you some questions. I'm sure you can answer.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
Sheryl Bennett launched out into the literary world in January 2016 with the release of her much-anticipated book, It's Time for a Village Meeting, Awakening Moms, Reclaiming Our Girls. In this book, Minister Bennett challenges mothers to heal themselves so that their daughters can visualize and experience healing is possible and real. Minister Bennett is currently on tour sharing this book across the country, and if you would like to benefit from this movement towards spiritual healing,
Go to her website.
go to her website.
Yes.
What is your website?
My website is www.SherilynBennett.com.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's it.
that's it.
Y'all get there.
That's right.
If you love your daughters, let's get
That's
there.
right.
Let's get there. Get that book.
That's right. Get the book. Get the book. And I'm pretty sure it's going to be some touching info that we get from Miss Bennett on today. But Sherilyn, before we start getting into the meat of the show, tell the listening audience who is Sherilyn Michelle Bennett.
Well, I thought about the question when you sent it over. I said, man, I'm really glad to answer that question today. But about 10 years ago, maybe not so much. I wasn't quite sure who I was because God has made all these changes for me in my late 40s. And
Okay.
So today, Sherilyn Bennett is an awesome mother of two amazing sons that are in college. I am the CEO of an international brand, Spiritual Sweets. We're a lifestyle brand and ministry for girls and women. I'm a sought-after speaker, thank God, and now I'm an author. And so I'm an author of the wonderful Village book that was inspired by our little 4-year-old in Tampa, Florida, and God birthed this book through me because of her. And so the Lord told me when he birthed the book, he said, broken moms can't raise healthy girls. And so we decided we were going to do something about that because most girls are a walking representation of their mother's brokenness.
That's right. That's right. And, I heard you mention you have two wonderful sons.
Yes.
So I had a question in mind. Why not
Okay.
for sons, but for girls?
That's why I asked the Lord.
Okay.
Right? And the answer is simply this. I have a very large extended family. We're a big village. And I have about 9 girl cousins underneath me, little ones.
Okay.
And I spend a lot of time with them, and they're the reason why I birthed my brand. And so now the brand is launching out, and this is just another thing that God has placed underneath the brand. And so I come in contact with many girls, and I want to tell you the story about the book and why it was birthed, and then you'll get it. So
Okay.
we were at a girls' conference in Tampa, Florida, and at the end, I prayed for the young ladies. There was about 50 of them, and this little one, Tyke, 4 years old, she kept coming around to the prayer line, and she did it like 3 times. And so the 4th time, she just came and stood by me, like, I'm not moving until you pray for me right. I'm
Okay.
not but I'm not moving. And so the Spirit led me to just bend down to her, and I asked her what was wrong. And she told me that she was afraid and that bad things happened in her house and the police come. And so this was a very emotional moment for me. I did begin to cry as I prayed for her. And when I got home, I asked the Lord, now why is a 4-year-old left to fend for herself? Where is mom? And so that's why this Village book came about. And so my brand is basically for girls. I'm not sure why, but I feel qualified. You know,
Right.
I'm a daughter, I'm a mother, I'm a granddaughter, I'm a niece, so I feel qualified to write this book.
Okay. And you are. Because God said you are.
That's right.
Right? And I love what you said, but, you know, the scripture says out of the mouth of babes.
Yeah.
You know, so that was definitely for you confirmation, if not anything else. But that just sounds like a really touching and remarkable story. You know, are you still in touch with the little girl?
I am not, but, you know, I think about her often as I travel and meet moms because the book is for mothers. And we've had some amazing healing take place, but I found that it was the older moms that have things that they need to face, you know, things that are pulling them from their past that they need to go back. You know, older moms that are moms themselves that say, you know, this brought healing to me because my mom needed to read it. And actually my own mother, who I thought did a great job, she read the book, and the next day she called me and apologized to me for some things. So, you know, God wrote the book. Yeah, he wrote the book.
You know, parents feed their pain. You know, through so many different areas of challenging circumstances or situations in life. And so, you know, to have a book like that to help them understand it actually, you know, what it is that they're going through, and probably see some of the mistakes, or not necessarily mistakes, but things that you didn't dot your I's and cross your T's, you know?
Right.
Yeah, that could have helped or made things different, changed things, you know. And a lot of times we tend to look at the presence or non-presence of the fathers being in the children's lives, but the mother can be there and still do just as much damage.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So,
definitely.
you know, at
And
some
you'll
point,
find
I
it's
think,
generational. She doesn't face it. It's going to be, and, you know, when I minister to girls, when we travel the country, you can always tell the girl that has sort of a disconnect with mom.
Right.
She stands out, and so it's you know, I feel that by healing mom, I'm going to give her a chance. So that's, you know, that's basically why the book came about.
And, you know, what just came to mind was when I asked you the question earlier, not boys but girls. And I thought, you know, you can still reach both, because when mom sees, you know, the things that she could fix with the daughter, then, I mean, the son, she'll see the same thing with the son. So you're helping both, actually. Yeah. So let's get into the topic.
Okay.
Trusting God for miracles.
Yeah.
I read one of your posts that you called in. I think you had gotten a miracle. A miracle had happened concerning a bill. Yeah. And he said, move, God, move. So I was thinking to myself, I said, well, you know, let's talk. Because sometimes that's a challenging thing to do, to trust him just for that miracle, or for that like I said, was telling Jay, for peace, for change, you know, what mindset, how do you comfort yourself in that moment and not just say, you know, get bitter or don't understand, or, you know, how do you do that? Because I'm pretty sure, you know, before you got the word to call back in and you received the blessing, were you praying for a miracle? Were you looking for it? Were you expecting it? I mean, tell me what was going on in your mind.
Well, at the ripe old age of 47,
Okay.
I've learned that I'm just going to try God. I'm going to try him. His word says that if we ask it in his name, believing it's done. And so what I've been doing this year, and it's been only this year actually, I've been sending it back. Is this not what I want? Is not what I asked for? And I know God has a better way. I'm going to send it back. I'm going to just not receive it. And so it was simple. Right. It was simply a tag and a registration. It was so steep, and I thought, no, God, you know what my bank account looks like. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do that. I'm not. So I just waited. I waited and I prayed about it. I was like, God, I have a certain amount set aside for this, and that's more than what I have set aside. I'm not going to accept that. So I asked God, and I did pray, and I said, God, put the right people in place. I'm going to listen to your timing, because often it's we jump ahead or we're lagging behind. Okay? So you have to listen to the timing of God and be attuned to what he's saying and move when he says move, and then he's going to move. And so sure enough, I called this time. I didn't go back down there. I just called. And I had the right lady answer the phone. And she said, hey, you know what?
Yep, God set him right there for you. She was waiting on you.
Right? All of a sudden, that $390 turned into $70. I almost couldn't believe it myself. I asked her again. I said, oh, is that the total? And she said, yes, that is $70.
Did you hear that?
Yep.
$390 to $70.
Absolutely.
Right?
That's what's up. Yeah, God is good.
I know. And I read that. I was like, what? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, he said that if you acknowledge him in all your ways, he'll direct your path. And everything that you need is on that path. And to acknowledge him doesn't mean to ask him what to do. It's just include him on everything that you're doing and everything that you're doing. And I believe that's what manifested that blessing for you. That's awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
But I think it's time for us to start getting back, not back, but some of us get to trusting God.
Right. Yeah.
Because there's nothing else to trust. I mean, the system, the government, some of the churches, people, family, friends, they're not there. So who else you gonna turn to?
And you can't trust someone you don't spend time with.
That's right.
Well,
Yeah.
And so that's the key. It's the key.
And so tell me, Sherilyn, how do you listen for his voice?
Wow, that's good.
Well, you have to cut the other noise out. And I think, the world can be so noisy, and you just have to cut it out because we're not a part of that. We're not a part of that. We have to know who we are and whose we are. And right now, thinking about your question to me, as a family, we've seen God move on our behalf. I have a cousin that was completely healed of cancer at the age of 12. And they called it remission. Well, my cousin is 45 right now. That's not remission.
That's right. That's right.
Recently, we've had to depend on God again because this same cousin has been diagnosed with multiple brain tumors. So recently, we have to say, God, we trusted you then, we trust you now. And so those brain tumors turn out not to be cancerous, and he's going to have to get surgery and some chemo. But we trust God. When we heard the news, we may have buckled for a moment, and that's how some of us are because we're human. Those things that punch us in the gut, they cause us to buckle just for a moment. But then what do you do after that? Then you stand up straight and you get the word of God and you go to war because that's what it is. And so my family, we've seen healing. We've seen healing where it hadn't worked our way, but heal because we believe in the afterlife. But we stand on the word of God, and that's what I do. I was thinking about one of the major things that happened to me because really I haven't had one of those lives where I've gone through so much, but divorce almost knocked me off my feet. But God healed me completely from that. I'm not bitter. I'm not angry. My ex-husband and I, we co-parent very well together. And so God can heal you from that. If it's divorce, God can heal you from it. Whatever it is, God can heal you.
Okay. Tell me, I know you said about 10 years ago, it's kind of when you started. At what age did you decide you wanted to be a leader?
Well, I didn't decide that.
Okay. All right.
I I've come from a family full of ministers, but I was not interested in that. I had no interest at all. I was told that I was going to minister, and I said, well, no, not really. I'm a businesswoman. That's what I do. I'm not doing that. And so I didn't want to, because ministers have this thing that people feel about them. And I didn't want to deal with that. I just want to live my life. I don't want to, and, you know, but it's not up to us, the positions we have and what God does with us. He's already determined that. So I went on about my life, and 2 years later, true story, God arrested me in my car. I had to pull over and throw my hands up.
What?
It was that serious, yeah. And then I began to go to ministry school maybe like a year later, and all of a sudden I had this feeling like I want to just preach all my life, and I couldn't get rid of it. It is just who I am. And so God's going to do what God's going to do. So if you're running, give up so God can use you, because there are people that need you. And only once I gave up did he birth this wonderful ministry that I have and completely changed my life. And it was right after I got divorced.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. You have some awesome testimonies. You really do. I mean, because it kind of hits home where people can actually relate and understand.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's one thing, you're doing good, but to come from a real human, you know, perspective that you're explaining it from, it really, it touches me, you know, from the story about the little girl, and then God arrested you and trusting him for blessings and things of that nature. It's like, you know, I have evidence that what I'm saying actually works.
Yes, I lived it for sure.
So,
I never thought this would be my life. But when I was living in Atlanta for about 15 years, I got divorced, and the Lord was like, now go home. And I was upset because, you know, I had a corporate job there. I was fine. I'm okay. Why are you asking me to leave here? But he said, when you go home, I'm going to change your life. And it didn't seem like it at first, because I moved home with no job for 2 years.
Right.
But I still had to trust God. My mom's like, you're going to live with me. But who wants to do that at the age of 38? I don't.
Right.
You know, so I'm living with her and trusting God. And 2 years later, he gives me a job. And 6 months after that, he kicks me off that job. And I'm working for myself ever since. I have not skipped a beat. God has provided everything for me ever since then, and that's been 2 years ago. I even have awesome gospel artists as my design clients. I work for myself, but God did that to set me up so that I can minister. I don't have to ask for time off. I don't have to ask for vacation. When God sends me to do something, I can pick up my bags and catch the plane.
Because you're being used by him.
That's right.
Amen. A lot of us out there, a lot of you are being set up. You're being set up by God to do what he called you to do. So you may see it as a setback or disappointment. Oh, I got fired. But get out there and launch that business so you can do ministry full time, because sometimes God is calling you to that.
That's what's up.
Wow.
Well, it is 9:25.
Yes.
And we've got 5 minutes for our 9:30 giveaway. So in
That's
case
right.
you're just tuning in, you're listening to the Kelissa in the Morning Show with Kelissa Bass. And to the fifth caller, we're giving away one of your books.
Mining for Success.
That's right.
That's right. So make sure you call in and don't touch that dial.
Don't touch the dial. 404-355-8699. Give us a call. Give us a call.
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here. You can take a break. I'm a hot air balloon that could go to space. With the air, like I don't care, baby, by the way. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Here come bad news, talking this and that. Well, give me all you got and don't hold it back. Well, I should probably warn you, I'll be just fine. No offense to you, don't waste your time. Here's why. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a what happiness is. You, clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Clap along.
Man, what an awesome song. What an awesome song. Welcome back. In case you just tuned in, you're listening to the Kelissa in the Morning Show with Kelissa Bass.
Kelissa Bass.
And our 9:30 giveaway is being sponsored by Greater Works Missions, headed by Candace Ruffin.
That's right.
Yep.
That's right.
So tell us a little bit about your book one more time. I'm really intrigued. Now, this is the book that I have not read.
Okay.
I have not read. You said it's
Mining
a
for
workbook.
Success?
Yes.
Yes. Mining for Success is 7 steps to achieving any goal or dream. And the twist about it is I actually use this book myself.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah. You know, and I have some challenging moments I stumble upon in life, as we all do. I actually get my book out and
You keep it handy, don't you?
I keep it handy because
Yeah.
it helps you remain grateful and forgiving
Yeah, grateful.
and understanding. It has worksheets in it that you can go through and list like there's one sheet that you have to put down. What is your mood? How are you feeling right now? And then how can you take some steps towards making that mood better?
It sounds like a great reminder of what gave you hope the last time.
Yes.
That's what's up.
And it actually works. It works, and I love talking about it. I love using it, and I think it'll be an awesome tool to use with children as well.
Good
because it
developmental
helps them.
tool.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Well, in case you just tuned in, you're listening to the Kelissa in the Morning Show. We've been via telephone live with Sherilyn Bennett, Minister Sherilyn Bennett, and so we're enthralled in a conversation regarding how trusting God for a miracle is entirely possible. Not only is it possible, it should be the norm for those who believe.
It should.
We shouldn't even be calling them miracles. We should be saying, it manifested.
Right. and not be surprised. But why are we surprised?
I know.
Sherilyn?
What is that?
Why are we surprised? Sherilyn,
Yeah,
I said, why are we so surprised when a miracle does happen?
because most of the time we really don't believe God. We just say we do.
Ooh, say that again.
Because most of the time we really don't believe God. We just say we do.
And you know, I said one time, I said,
It's so powerful.
God, I know you can, but will you?
And he says that our prayers are answered by yes and amen.
Yes, that's
That's right.
doubting
faith.
right there.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
doubting
That's
right
right.
there.
It's like, if you will, Lord,
I know you can, but will you?
You know how people say, if it's God's will, well, then haven't you read your word? Of course it's His will.
Of course it's his will. What do you
That's
mean?
just an out. So if it don't happen, I'll be okay.
Right, wow.
We got to stop
If
praying
it's God
like that.
willing, God willing.
Yeah.
Well, what you mean God willing? Don't you know the word?
Right. Give me a good scripture that confirms what you just said.
Oh, well, one of my favorite is call unto me and I will answer thee and show thee great and mighty things that thou knowest not. And so I won't have to look the scripture exact up, but that's one that I say all the time
Okay.
because God has those hidden things, and He's just asking us to ask Him about it because He knows. You know, He knows more than Mama them. He knows more than your cousin. He knows more than your business partner. If you just ask Him, He's going to reveal those things to you. And so, you know, I use that often because that's Jeremiah 33:3. And I use that often because oftentimes we get caught up in asking other people when we need to ask God. For example, I had a headache and for days, and I went through every Walgreens for this specific medication. And then when I was driving home, the Spirit said, well, why you didn't ask Jesus? If the man said he can heal you, he can heal your, lay hands and heal yourself, why you run across town trying to get Tylenol PM or Tylenol extra strength when the word sitting on your table? You already had the healing in your house.
Wow. So tell me how to differentiate between the scripture that says, ye have not because you ask not, and you already know you've asked.
Well, it's the timing of God. You know, God knows what's best for you.
Okay.
And oftentimes nowadays we're microwave Christians, and we want to see it right then.
Popcorn, right.
God don't do it right then. then he ain't going to do it. Well, the devil is a lie. I've had things from the past years later that I forgot I even asked God about. And then the Spirit reminded me when God came through. Because often the conditions aren't right for what you're asking for.
Right.
Okay.
And so God has to wait. One, maybe your heart isn't ready to receive it and do the right thing with it.
Okay.
And two, the conditions need to be right because you're blessed to be a blessing. And so you just have to keep walking in your faith.
Right.
Because God is taking care of you. You know, in the Bible it says, I heard you the first time. God heard you the first time.
And maybe that thing
what
that
he wants, what he wants.
that's right.
Yeah,
And maybe that thing you're asking for is going to kill you if you get it now.
right.
You know,
Yes. Correct. May not be the right conditions for the blessing. So
Okay.
you have to trust God in that. You have to trust God in the right environment and what He's going to do. Let's take, for instance, I couldn't have birthed this ministry still living in Atlanta. God didn't even have my attention then. So He had to wait until I was ready to receive what it was He was going to give me, and also until I was whole, because how can I stand in front of women and girls if I'm still broken myself? So I need to go through the process of being healed
Right.
in order to be able to pour into them correctly.
Okay. Okay. Wow.
That's why we're having a discussion a little while ago about seed time and harvest. You know, you're planting into what your need is, but then there's time. So the planting is the seed. Then there's the time. Then comes the harvest.
That's right.
And so it's like if I get a bag of corn seed and go out in the backyard, dig a hole and pop some corn down there. I don't go out there tomorrow and have an ear of corn sitting there. There's seed,
Right.
time, and then harvest.
Right.
And
Yeah,
so you got to prepare the soil, nurture the soil.
Right.
You know, de-weed the root, the plant that's coming up. You got to take care of that thing in order to have a harvest. You know, and so
Okay.
that's amazing.
That's
Amazing.
right.
God is so
Faithful
good.
over a few things.
I know God's a farmer. God is a farmer.
Yes, He is. He always talks about sowing.
And harvest.
Always,
Reaping and
yes.
sowing.
You got to be a farmer at heart.
Trying to teach us how to do some farming.
That's right.
Tell us, Sherilyn. So, on to the speaking. You're a speaker, correct? Okay. So, I hear you're going out of the country soon.
Yes, ma'am.
Uh-huh.
Oh, bless the Lord.
Yes, yes, yes. So, how did that come about, and what are you going to be speaking about?
Right. So, Facebook has afforded me a lot of things. And one of them is people discover me there all the time.
Okay.
And there's this wonderful woman that has an organization called Save Our Children in Trinidad and Tobago. And she saw me in the book on Facebook, and she inboxed me, and she says, how soon can you get here?
Wow.
That was her message.
Wow.
And I thought, get where?
Right. Trinidad.
How soon can you get to Trinidad?
Yesterday.
And I thought, well, and see, I wasn't ready. I had asked the Lord to send me abroad, but I wasn't ready because this sister don't even have a passport.
Okay.
So I wasn't ready. And so, I told her, well, how about the fall? Because that's the time it's going to take me to get this passport. Come to Trinidad. And so she says, I want you to come over and minister to the girls and women here. And they have recently in Trinidad caught on to this national girl campaign. It's all about girls, something to that effect. And she wants me to come, and also they want to talk to me about setting up a spiritually sweet program over there for the girls. And so after I sat down and said, Lord, really? And jumped up and down in my living room.
Right.
Exactly. I have work to do. It's my first international assignment, but not the first time I've been asked. I have been asked to come to Malawi, Africa in December. I'm not sure if we're going to do that this year or not.
Okay.
But I was just ecstatic. And all of the speaking and being able to minister comes from our Spiritual Suite brand, me traveling the country and ministering to girls. And so now God pulled me off the road with the book, and now I understand why.
Okay.
And so this is what happens. Now I have more ministry opportunities where I don't need the team with me. But, yeah, I'm really excited about going to Trinidad.
Okay.
I just hope that I can make the Lord proud. I say, now, God, you gave me this assignment, and so I know you're already there walking the ground and filling the soil.
That's
There
right.
it is again, the farmer.
Yep.
He said, there he is again.
There it is me.
Well, that's awesome. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you, and
Thank you
congratulations.
so much, guys.
Congratulations.
I'm going
for
to be
that.
in Atlanta next month as well, speaking at a girls' conference there. So I might need to stop by and see you all.
Not might. You do have to stop by and see us. And you'd send me. I want to come to the conference.
Yes, I'll make sure I'll send you the information.
Yeah, that'll be awesome. That'll be so awesome. And so and that's going to be about what is the conference going to be about again?
It's called She Matters, and this is a conference for girls, and we're going to do a session for moms with my book. So we're going to kind of have like a village meeting with the moms. So it's August 13th.
Okay. Wow. Well, yeah, we'll definitely have to make sure we make connection while you're here. That'll be awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, and then promote, what you're doing.
Yes,
That's definitely what the
so much.
Kelissa in the Morning show is here for, to get out there and whoever God leads me to. That's who I promote.
Yes, I certainly do appreciate you guys. It's been really fun.
You are so welcome. You are so welcome. So the work you're doing is quite remarkable. Mm-hmm. And you somehow managed to accomplish so very much. I commend you for your leadership ability and how you help others in so many ways. And what I've heard from you so far, I just want you to know that I'm so very proud of you, and I'm kind of in awe, with your testimony and the work you've done and what you're continuing to do. So tell me, what are your plans for the near future? Like, you want to take this internationally? I mean, your program for the girls, is that where you
Yes.
Okay, you are. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Well, right now I'm focusing on the book, and what has happened is when we travel the country with the book, moms, they have asked me to do these village meetings. Now, I can't do that. I can't come to their towns every month and do the meetings. So what we decided to do is we're in the process of making my book into a workbook.
Okay.
An ebook workbook that can be downloaded by moms. And I just did a photo shoot for the campaign yesterday. And on my birthday, September 2nd, we're launching virtual village meetings online, where mom will be able to download the book. And I'm going to do an 8-week series twice a year from the book.
Oh,
and
wow.
Then, once a year, I'm going to do a live village meeting with moms and daughters. And so that's what we're doing now. Because the book has taken off and it's soaring, I'm going to stay right there in that area for a moment. But I am doing a Spiritually Sweet event in partnership with Beverly Crawford next week in Gainesville.
Oh,
and that'll
okay.
be the only time I'm going to be doing Spiritual Sweet's Girl Conference this year, because my focus is on the book. The Lord asked me to give the book a year, so that's what we're doing.
Okay.
But I will be doing that with Beverly next Saturday.
Next Saturday in Gainesville. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, you're doing an awful lot of traveling. That's a
Yeah.
blessing. That's a blessing. But hey, whatever he calls you to do, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
He's
That's
opening
right.
up doors for you.
Yeah. I love it. I like to travel because, I get to meet all different kinds of girls, so it's fine with me. I'm okay with it.
And what age group?
Normally it's from ages 5 to 18.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Big group.
Yeah. So we try to deal with those ages.
Well, Ms. Bennett, let me ask you a question.
Sure.
What would you say would be the number one, the biggest challenge for young mothers raising daughters in regards to their own experience? I mean, the one that sticks out the most, what would be the biggest challenge, whether it be finances or would it be baby daddy, or what is the number one biggest challenge that ladies need to overcome when raising successful children?
I would say maybe there's two things that I've found. One is the biggest challenge for girls is that their self-worth and self-image has taken a hit because of the media and TV. So you have the Kardashians, and everybody knows me that knows that I want Kris Jenner to call me because her daughters need ministry.
Right.
They have single-handedly made a dent in self-worth for girls because nothing is real with them, and it is all an illusion. But our girls don't know that. And so I encounter girls all the time when I have to minister to them, and I find myself revalidating that they're fine the way they are.
Right.
And so that's one of the main challenges for mothers is to get your head out of the sand and make sure that you are in touch with what's going on with your daughter, no matter her age.
That's right.
You need to make sure that you are who she looks up to. So that means you have to have good character, and you have to show her good character on your knees in prayer and with your life. You can't say one thing and do another.
Right.
That is not going to work in this day and age. The world is going to raise your daughter if you do that. They will raise your daughter, and you're not going to like it. So you need to make sure that you're present, that you're validating her, that you're praying for her, covering her, fighting for her, because the world wants to change the very definition of who she thinks she is.
Yeah, that's right.
So you're going to have to do it, Mom. And also, the pet peeve for me, and I address this in the book, and it's always a major point when I'm on bookstores, your daughter is not, I repeat, is not your best friend. She does not have the capacity to do that. And when you ask her to be your best friend, you are putting you guys on an even playing field, and that can't be. You cannot have authority over her and be her best friend, because best friends don't have authority over one another. So I need you to come up off of that.
That's right. Well, okay.
She's not your mini-me, and she is not your best friend. You're her mother.
Right.
And she needs you to guide her.
So
not best friend. Throw that out.
Let me that's awesome, and that's really good. That's good word. That's good as the word. Let's change vantage points. Say you're the mother of a daughter that potentially that's trying to decide which way to go. What would a dialogue with her sound like coming from you?
Which way to go? Where?
In regards to how she's dressing, self-esteem, things like that.
Herself, yeah.
What would a conversation go like if you were talking to your daughter that was trying to make a decision whether to be a leader or a follower?
Right. Now, we've had these conversations, and I will tell her that once we clear the room, it's no holds barred. Girls will open up, and they will talk to you, because their world is different than ours. So what you have to do is basically, when you're dealing with her, understand that she is her own person, and she has her own point of view. She is not you when you were a teenager.
Right.
Your life is totally different than what she has to deal with. And what I try to do when I'm talking to girls, I try to be in their culture. I try to understand the music they hear.
Right.
I try to understand some of the things that they feel they must wear. But you have to bring it all back. And this is what we do. And we often get tears after this. But you have to bring it all back to who God says she is.
There it is.
Now, and I always ask them, now, you know a girl in your school that dresses like this and acts like this. What are people saying about her? Well, they say she's loose, or they say, so are you her or are you you?
Right.
So you can't be condescending, Mom. Don't do that. You can't judge, Mom. Don't do that, because she's dealing with things that you never had to deal with. She's dealing with the fact that if she makes one mistake, it could be online for the rest of her life. We didn't have that to deal with.
That's right.
We didn't have cyberbullying. We didn't have people that can post something about her and people take it as truth no matter what. We didn't have that to deal with. So you got to educate yourself, Mom. Educate yourself. Kind of get down on her level and say, listen, I understand because I've seen you deal with it. I want you to know I'm here to fight with you. But I can't have you in clothing that are showing stuff that you don't intend to share.
Right. Okay.
And so what we're going to do, I'm going to let you come with me to choose the clothes, but understand I have rules and boundaries. But what you can't do, you can't start parenting her at 14.
Exactly. I was waiting for the pause so I can put that in there.
You're going to lose it.
Yes.
If she's 15 and 16 and you're trying to play catch up.
Forget it.
You're going to,
forget it. You can't even start at 9 and 10, and I know this all too well from experience. You have to start when they're young.
From the
you
crib.
have to, yes.
From the crib.
And you also have to start validating them as well.
Please validate her.
Because if you don't do it, somebody else is going to do it, and they're not going to tell them the right things.
She needs you to tell her how great she is. Because she is. Even if she made an F in math, she's still a bad chick. That's what you have to tell her. Now, you still bad, but let me tell you something. We're going to deal with this F. What do you think we should do? Give her a voice.
Right.
Let her take part, but tell her she don't get to choose.
Right.
You don't get to choose. But I'm going to listen to you because what you think is important to me. But I'm your mother, and I know what's best. I'm going to take into account what you tell me, though, and I do want to hear from you. That's all you have to
I like that. I like that. Yes.
Yeah.
And so many girls don't hear I'm pretty, I'm smart.
They don't.
They don't hear
They
pretty
don't.
much anything, because mothers
They
are.
don't fit the mold. And they already feel that they have to fit this mold that the media has out there. That's horrible.
That's why they sit and watch Love and Hip Hop.
Oh,
Is it
Mhm.
Basketball Wives
yeah.
and
They can call me, Mona call me, that's garbage.
right? Yes,
Pushing garbage to people. You need to stop.
and it's all scripted. It's not even real.
It's not real.
Do you know I was in a room full of teenagers and they almost was in tears when I told them that stuff isn't real?
I believe you.
Yes, it is. It's real.
It's
No,
like
no, honey,
they
it's
were
not.
like, Minister Sherilyn, really? I mean, they were so distraught, I tell you. They were just distraught. They really were.
They are selling them a bag of garbage.
it's like the soap
Yeah.
operas back in the day that
Yeah.
our grandparents used to watch. Days of Our Lives, General Hospital. They talk like those people were their relatives.
Yeah.
And that's how those girls feel. Oh, my God. They just they worship those women. If they understood the power that they have, they would change their life.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
Imagine the following of girls you could have if you just
Oh, boy.
did something. I mean, even now, because of the attention that they have from the majority of the girls, that if they went a positive route and did something different, they could change the lives of
A million.
yes,
Millions.
millions.
We're just
amazing
experiencing
what
the
they
next
could
generation of soap opera, and
Oh,
it's just
Jesus.
the
How you
worst
got
thing.
a woman that's 35 years old, Kim Kardashian, I'm talking about you. You have a dark brown
That's right.
How do you have a woman that's 35 years old that has no self-esteem? Yes, she might have millions of dollars. This chick needs help.
Mm-hmm.
She has no self-esteem. This woman is getting naked every other day so people can validate her. Kris Jenner, you failed your daughters. And now
yeah.
they're in front of my little bright black girls, and they're trying to teach them what their worth is.
That's
Nope.
right.
Mom, you better step in, and you better do it now. Right.
Yeah, just the influence just being wasted. Just the most amazing. And have foundations on the side and call themselves philanthropists. And it's like, man, you need to redirect instead of putting money into what you're doing. You need to put some influence into what you're doing. And man, and some ethics, because anything goes now. I was watching something last night. And I'm not gonna name the show, but yeah, you had people that it's just mess, and it's mess that will draw you in. Because here I am, a 50-year-old man, and I'm drawn into the mess. And my friend was like, "Hey man, you know that's not real." I said, "I know that's not real, but it sure is interesting." But to a
They
young
make it
mind
interesting because
developing,
we like to see train wrecks.
why is that? I don't understand. But they're piping this stuff into not only our young people, but into us too, and so we're being controlled. Our minds are being desensitized to things that God did not intend.
I personally think it's done on purpose.
Oh, absolutely.
It's done on
too.
purpose
Yeah.
because you can't be a philanthropist and be over here helping people, and then you're doing this. God only knows what.
Right. So, are you really helping, or what are you
Right.
doing, or is it an act?
It's
too?
an act.
Well, people will do anything, turn tricks for money.
Right.
And that's what they're doing: visual trick turning on TV. It's just the most amazing thing.
And these kids are
And then you wanna
so
talk about,
what's the word?
Influence. Man, no.
Influence. Yeah.
Yeah, influence.
Yeah.
They have a lot of it. If they will only just understand, they're being pimped out.
Well, but look at the things that are happening in the country.
know.
With the sharing of bathrooms and locker rooms, man, you're talking about you're
why
opening
would
up the
that be
door
anything?
to having our young women raped, our young men raped in school. I mean, this is Pandora's box.
Yes,
It's-
we're
it's-
losing it. We are losing it.
we've lost it.
and that's
And
the
it's
reason why
legal
we
now.
have to turn to God. Well, some of us, well, not some of us. We all need to, but it's not going to happen. It's like it's open, like you said. Pandora's box is open. There's no closing.
Yeah,
And we're
we're
responsible.
Yeah.
We're responsible for little girls killing each other in bathrooms.
yes. Yeah.
Yes, and the fighting that they watch on YouTube and Facebook.
Isn't that crazy?
What are you watching that for?
And they laugh about it.
Yeah, and the poor thing. One of my daughters was watching a fight, and the other girl had got her hair ripped out and she was bleeding. And
Oh, Jesus.
why? What's in your mind that's making you sit there and watch that cruelty?
Well, the Bible says, watch what you put into your gates.
Yeah.
Watch what you
that's
put
right.
into your eye gate. Watch what you listen to, because that thing is shaping something in you. That's why he said, the Word of God says that we need to be musing His Word, and we need to be meditating on that day and night, because we got to combat what we see. We got to combat what we're hearing daily, minute by minute.
Yeah.
You know,
Even the news,
absolutely.
they're feeding garbage too, because they're controlling what you're thinking. You know.
That's why He says, stay in that Word, so you know the truth.
You got to stay in it. You got to. So imagine if we think the world has gone mad, what our girls think.
You know, I think our girls, the ones that we're not mentoring, think that what's happening is normal.
Yeah, they think it's normal. It's their life. It's what they're used to.
Yeah.
Sadly.
Yep. So.
Sadly. But Mom has to take her place at the village meeting. I say in the book, what happened to the village? You know, they turn off the light, close the doors, and they stop having meetings. So now our children are left to fend for themselves. We just pretty much let the world raise our children.
I remember when I was in foster care, and Miss Smith, rest her soul, she would go to church, but then we would drive all the way from Willis, Michigan to Detroit, and then it was like a many of the older ladies, and they would bring their kids over, and they'd be down there meeting. You'd actually have to sit there at the house, and they'd be talking about different things, and I thought, people don't do that anymore.
No. You know. Well, you know, because you don't tell me what to do with my kids.
Oh gosh, right? No, let's not even bring that one up. Right?
That pride. Yeah, I saw little Ray down there at the corner selling stuff that he was. You know, you need to check your child.
Yeah, they know your business.
That wasn't my child.
Yeah,
Or that.
Yeah, honey, it was.
Yeah,
that was your boy.
Right? Whereas the neighbor used to tear our butts up.
Yeah,
Sure did.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! And don't go tell my grandma. Oh my goodness.
No. I remember getting 4 whippings in one day. I remember throwing rocks at children. I was about 5 in kindergarten, and
my God.
and I was throwing rocks. My teacher said, "Dear Jay, I see you. Stop it." I was like, "Yes, ma'am." You know, and she turned her back. I got me a dirt clog. I hope it was kind of wet because I nailed this cat right in the back of his head. And she was like, "Mr. Parker, come on with me." And boy, she took me inside the building, just right there in the doorway, and she swatted me 3 or 4 times. And then she made me stand by the wall. So then the bell rang. We all went in. She took me to my teacher. My teacher gave me a whooping. Then they sent me to the principal's office.
Yeah.
And then the principal gave me a swatting. Then I got home, and Mama had mercy, but Daddy, he didn't have no mercy. Yeah, he tore me up that night. I got 4 whoopings that day.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a record.
Yeah.
I know, right?
But you know what? I don't even like to throw football today. I don't even throw the ball with my kids. I don't throw nothing else. That was a good lesson.
Sherilyn, we're running out of time. This has been an awesome show. You are going to have to come to the studio when you get here. Yes, because so we can continue this. But let the listening audience know how they can get in touch with you, call you, Facebook, website, all that good information. And we're definitely going to make sure that you keep in touch. We're going to keep in touch with each other and have you into the studio because I think it'd be so awesome.
Well, thank you all for having me. This has been more than fun.
You are so welcome.
You can
Thank
reach
you.
me at my website, at www.sherilyn, SHERILYN, Bennett.com. You can call my ministry line at 352-843-1123 if you want to book me for, to minister or your girls' events or women's events. On Facebook, I'm Sherilyn Michelle Bennett or Sherilyn Bennett Ministries, Spiritual Suites. Is on Facebook, and our Spiritual Suites website is www.spiritualsuites.com. My email is sherilynmichelle@gmail.com.
Ooh, boy, you got that on the top of your head, huh?
Oh yeah, because I say it all the time.
I know, right? That's what I was thinking. Okay, well, it's been lovely. It's been lovely having you here. Thanks for coming on to the show, and we do look forward to seeing you in the studio.
Thank you.
Yes, I'm certainly coming. Thank you all for having me.
You're welcome. It's been a pleasure. Well, thank you for joining us on the show today, and we want you to know that we are grateful for your support. You've been listening to the Kelissa in the Morning Show with Kelissa Bass. We hope you enjoy the time we spent together today, and we are confident that you are educated and absolutely inspired. Please tune in next week from 9 to 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on WAEC Love 860, Atlanta's Inspirational Talk Radio. The community is better because of the Kelissa in the Morning Show.
That's
I am
right.
convinced.
Thank you. And you guys, thanks for tuning in. Make it a great day.
Good morning.
Thank you for listening to Kelissa in the Morning. Be sure to tune in every Thursday, 9 to 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on WAEC